Welcome to this week's video. So this week I'm installing a funny playing LCD screen in a Gameboy Advance. So I bought this to install in an extreme rate case that I got a few weeks ago. Unfortunately I didn't realise that this only fits in a certain pre-cut case, so I have to buy one of them as well. So I bought this from AliExpress, around about £30 odd. I have this old battered Gameboy Advance that works okay, but it's in really rough shape. So just quickly take the screws out the back. It's a nice easy to take apart. Take the back off, and then there is a couple of screws on the motherboard that need to be removed. Then there's two latches either side of the ribbon cable. Just release them, the ribbon cable pops out. Quick look at the board, it looks in okay condition, but I'm going to give it a good clean of isopropyl alcohol all over. This just removes all the old dirt and grime on there. So this is the case that I have to buy. Again, the link will be in the description. The front housing's been cut so the screen fits in perfectly. So the screen just pops in like this. And then I picked two different types of buttons and sidebars. So solid black colour. And also the clear grey colour. So I decided I preferred the clear grey to go with the clear grey case. So just pop the new buttons to go in. Put the side bumper bars on. And I also bought new black membranes to go in as well. Then I cover the back with capped on tape to stop any potential shorts happening. And it has two connector ends, so different motherboards come with different size connectors, so you just need to have a quick check which size motherboards and which side connector you have. There is a number underneath the ribbon cable itself. This one's 32, this one's the smaller one, and then it comes with a couple of wires that need soldering on. So start with the smaller one, and then this just goes to the small tab in the corner, a little bit of solder, get the wire on it, just solders to the ribbon cable itself. So same on the other side, on the left shoulder button. And that solders on, and then finally the third and final wire needs to be soldered just above the select. So don't forget the small little dot that goes in the corner for the LED. And then this backing plate goes on, so this stops the screen from moving when the motherboard gets attached. I'm just attaching a little bit more capped on tape to keep the wires in place, makes it a little bit easier when fitting. And then put the motherboard back in. Just need to slightly adjust where the speaker goes, so it doesn't always line up first time. This can also be a bit tricky, trying to line up the ribbon cable with the motherboard itself, so you just need to give it a little bit of a push either side, tease it in, and then when you get the chance, clip the connector over, and then that should lock it in place. Then the three motherboard screws back in to make it nice and secure. So this touch sensor at the bottom can be a little bit hard to maneuver, so you just sort of need to push it down so it's just behind the screen, and then this will be used a bit later on. Then we pop the shoulder buttons back in, make sure they move nice and freely. And then the back plate can go back on now. Just press the buttons, making sure they still move. So it all looks okay, it all lines up. Then we pop the screws in, being a cheaper case, you need to be careful. These have a tendency that they can be over tightened and ruin the threads. It's best to tighten and then check whether it's tight enough. If the case moves, if it doesn't move, it's okay. If there is movement, then try and tighten a little bit more. So we also ordered the battery mod. So when it arrived, I thought they'd sent me a game by mistake, but then I realised that there's a few restrictions on sending just batteries out. So what they'd obviously did was included the battery mod with the game. When you open the game battery compartment, then that's where the battery is kept. So it's really simple little motherboard that slides in and the battery attaches. Just make sure you put the terminals in the right way. It fits in easy if you take out the two battery terminals at the end, which aren't needed anymore. Then I apply a little bit of heavy duty double-sided tape so that I can stick it into the battery compartment. And this also pushes it against the battery terminals within the console. So just maneuver the battery and the wiring into place. And then you can pop the battery cover back on, make sure that it makes a nice contact. Then we turn it on and we've got a working Game Boy. So if you hold onto the screen at the bottom, this is where the touch sensor is. You'll be able to flip through the options. The left and right shoulder buttons are how you can adjust up or down brightness. So you've got a few different options within screen. So you can, nice bright screen, you've also got a monochrome screen, and you've also got the yellow original Game Boy screen. There's also a few pixel effects on there as well. So we just pop a cartridge in, make sure it loads it up. Nintendo logo is always a good sign. And there we have the game working. So quick look around, and it is a nice finish. I'm glad I went with the all clear case and all clear sides, all clear buttons. Being from AliExpress, it's not the best of qualities, but it's also not a bad overall quality. So for the price, I think it's a pretty decent build. The screen's really nice and bright, and it really does make a difference on the old Game Boy Advance games. I'd recommend the mod if you've got an old beaten up Game Boy Advance. You need to change, if you want to upcycle a little bit. As I mentioned before, all the links for the parts used will be in the description below. Thanks for watching, please like, comment and subscribe.